Okay, so welcome everyone. This is the ninth, I think, episode in the Israel's LGBT Organizations Explained. This week, I'm really proud to have Yair Hochner with me. He is the founder of TLVFest, Tel Aviv's LGBT Film Festival. So welcome, Yair. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I just wanted to get start by asking you to tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe where you're from, and so on. Maybe a little bit of your coming out story, if you're willing.
My coming out, it's very boring. My parents knew that I'm gay, from very early age. And so I really never came out.
Did they tell you?
I just told them that I'm moving to live with my boyfriend, and they said, okay.
And that was it?
That's it.
Wonderful.
Nothing exciting. They knew that I'm hanging out with boys. I can tell you that when I was 16, my own private ID came out, and it was restricted to 18 and up. My parents really love cinema, movies, and they took me to all the movies that I was interested, because I really loved movies from very, very early age. So all the movies that was restricted to 18 and up, my father took me. He bought the tickets, and we went inside to the venue, to the cinema. And yeah, my phone is not so stable, so I'm sorry if I will jump from time to time. And we went to the premiere in Israel, to my own private idol. You know the movie?
Yeah, we did it as a movie night a few months ago, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was 16 and a half, I think. And he went with me. The first day it came out in cinema, it was Kolnoa Lev. It was Cinema Lev in Dizengoff Center. And I think it was Cinema 4 or 3, I think 4. And we went inside to the movie theater, and it was, I think, 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. screening. And my father, I remember that my father asked me, why there is only boys over here? So I think they already understood. But, I was very theatrical guy, and into movies. And in very early age, in 12, I loved Rock Horror Picture Show. It's a funny story too. My aunt told me there is a movie you must see. It's Rock Horror Picture Show, and it's going to play in Independence Day. During the Independence Day in the past, it was showing at midnight shows. And I went to my kids in the junior high, and I told them, we must go to see this movie, because it's about an alien that having sex with boys and girls. So all of us went to see this alien, and then we discover it's a musical, and people coming with costume, and we're like 12, 13, So
wasn't quite what you were expecting then.
No, but I really love the songs, and I bought the cassette. It was cassette yet, and me and my brother, that is 4 years younger than me, we did all the show, all the movie.
Wonderful.
Costume and everything. So of course, 2 gay boys, you can't run away from it.
Oh, so your brother's gay as well?
Yeah.
Excellent. Good stuff. So your love of movies has been there for a very long time.
So yeah, we grew up in very open-minded house, and we never had any problem or, dramatic coming out or something like this. It's the most boring coming out story you can imagine.
Fantastic.
And
that's good. That's how it should always be.
And maybe you saw my parents. They're coming to almost every movie in the festival.
Oh,
they're
really?
coming to the opening night. They even sometimes going out with me and my friends, and we're going to a restaurant or a movie, so.
Nice.
That's great. They are very, very open-minded parents, and I'm very lucky. I love them very much.
Okay. Eddie Sheva has a hand in the air. Eddie Sheva, did you want to ask something?
Yes. Do you mind if I ask you how long ago that was? I came out in the 50s and the world was very different. And I suspect you're a great deal younger than I am.
I'm 45, but I really never came out, you know. They knew from very early age. But
your parents' reaction is very different.
Yeah, you know. I think my own private idol, it's from the mid of the 90s.
That sounds about right.
And before, you know, in the end of the, in the end of the 80s, I discovered my own Rock Horror Picture Show. And I'm 45, so you can do the math.
Yeah, there was no such thing as gay movies in the 50s. And I grew up in New York City.
In the 50s, you had, but they wasn't, you know, gay.
It wasn't, yeah.
You know,
what was the movie with Audrey Hepburn and...
It's 60s, I think.
Was that the 60s already?
Suicide. I forgot the name. But it was Teen Sympathy with Deborah Kerr. And that it's very, very gay. And it's from the 50s. And of course, Some Like It Hot. It's
love that movie.
Very gay. There is a lot of a lot of subtext. But it was a lot of underground, like Fireworks of Kenneth Anger, you know, that he made it in the, I think in the end of the 40s. And it was very homoerotic and very almost explicit. And it was a homoerotic dream, and it was shown in, you know, underground venues. But, you know, the mainstream didn't know about that. So
when I was a 15-year-old high school girl, I didn't get to go to things like that.
Yeah. People, you know, I teach when I was a teacher. I don't teach anymore. But when I was a teacher, I teach these movies, these underground movies of Kenneth Anger. And it's all the time surprising, even for me, to see how much it's edgy, even for today. And so, but you know, the mainstream people, the mainstream audience didn't know about that. But in the 60s, you know, the end of the 60s, and of course during the 70s, there is a lot of very, very good gay cinema, you know. Lesbian a little bit less, but you know, there is, but it's from the end of the 60s.
Okay, so TLVFest is in its 15th year. I mean, TLVFest was supposed to be right now. This week is Pride Month. There's normally like a 10-day festival.
Yeah, it was supposed to be closed a week ago.
Right. Of course. So because of the pandemic, you've decided to postpone it until November. And it's still very much a wait and see, because we don't know where we're going to be in November, what state, whether we're in a second or third wave or whatever.
But, we don't know anything. This world is so surrealistic right now.
Yeah.
You know, with everything, you know, it's not only the corona. Sometimes I'm watching the news, like from US or something. It's look like a dystopic movie.
Yeah.
Like a really weird, crazy.
So they made a movie and say it was too far-fetched. So you started in 2006, is that right then? So if this is the 15th year?
Yes.
So why did you decide to go for an LGBT film festival? Why not a mainstream film festival, for example?
I don't know if you know it, but in 2005, I was a filmmaker in the beginning. Wow. And 2005, I had my first feature film. It's called Good Boys, Yeladim Tovim, in Hebrew. And it's about youth prostitution in Tel Aviv. A lot of the characters in the movie are gay people, gay young people. Of course, it's actors, but few of the supporting was really prostitutes. And the most famous one of them, the main supporting role, it's Gila Goldstein. I don't know if you know her. She's an icon. She died 3 years ago. She was one of the first transgenders in Israel, very famous transgender prostitute, and she was supporting role in the movie. And before the movie, I was volunteering in few places that worked with young gay homelesses, that few of them worked as prostitutes, and they had a lot of stories. And I took these stories and created a love story between two hustlers. And this movie became a huge hit in Tel Aviv Cinematheque. It was running half a year. And then I got the movie into film festival, of course, a lot of LGBT film festival. The first one was New Fest in New York. It's the biggest LGBT film festival in New York. I won the New Emerging Talent Award over there, awesome. And then we went to Q in Philadelphia, and then Outfest in LA, and then I won the Outstanding Newcomer. You know, it was really cool, and I went to these festivals. I was there, and I saw the amount of movies that they're showing, and not all of them, but a lot of them are really, really good. And then this movie will never be played in Israeli cinema or TV. And when I came back, I decided to open a film festival. And
just like that. That's wonderful. But that's how things work here, isn't it? Really, if something doesn't exist, somebody starts it.
Yeah, it was the biggest mistake of my life because it's fucked my, sorry of the F word, but it's totally ruined my filmmaker career. I made only one feature and another, a few productions I was involved.
You were involved with Antarctica, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, Antarctica. That was really big success too, commercially. And fucking different Tel Aviv, that got into the Berlinale, Berlin International Film Festival. Antarctica got into Venice.
Fantastic.
But to do the film festival, it's drained my creativity.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to sit and write scripts or to develop ideas, and it's very, very hard. In the start, I did few stuff, but right now I'm mostly focusing on the festival, and that's it.
Okay. So that first year, back in 2006, how many films were in the festival?
Whoa, it wasn't, I don't remember exactly, but of course, as I guess you know me, I love to think big. But we went, the Cinematheque refused to do the festival the first year. So in 2006, or 2005, they opened a small venue called the Third Year, Haozen HaShlishit, and they had 5 small cinemas.
Was that when it was in Schenken Street or in the current venue?
In the current venue.
Yeah, okay.
Where we are doing we are doing parties over there. I don't know if you've been there, but before it was a bar and venue for concert. It was 5 cinemas, and there is still 1 cinema over there. And during the parties, we're showing porn, and people can sit. If they don't want to dance or to see the show, they can watch porn and enjoy themselves.
Excellent. And of course, back in 2006, there was no Tel Aviv LGBTQ Center either.
The Pride was small. It wasn't big so much like now. We've been the only event, the only big event, 2006, 2007, 2008. And then they opened the LGBT Center, but it still was, small place, still trying to find its way. And the festival took place over there too. So there is no competition, you know, with small theater shows and stuff. But then when we decided that the venue it's not enough, and we took more halls in the Cinematheque, and we left the LGBT center, they started to do more and more shows and more events, and you know, and now everyone from the opera, Tira Bima, to a Camry, to Betlesin, everyone doing a show or a theater, or you know, the parties are becoming bigger and bigger. Everybody trying to do something, you know, private
initiatives, yeah.
And we, so it's now a very hard competition, although we are still the biggest cultural event. And the last year was very, very profitable, although the festival was really big.
There were some good
but
movies
this year
last
it's
year.
different. It's very different with the corona. So
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see if we will succeed, you know, to cover and what will happen, you know.
So how many movies do you think there'll be this year? You've started to build the program already for November?
Yeah, I'm working on it, but it's only in the beginning.
Okay.
We already booked few movies, of course. A lot of them from Venice, 2019, and a lot from the Berlinale from February 2020. But I'm still looking after cool movies. Tomorrow it starts the market in Cannes. So this year it's virtually. So I already watched few movies that will be in the market, and tomorrow I'm going to sit a lot of time in front of the computer in the next few days and watch movies, you know, from the virtual market of Cannes, and maybe try to get some new cool movies.
So normally, in a normal year, you'd be traveling to each of the LGBT film festivals around Europe and around the world?
No. They send me movies, the filmmaker themselves, and we have a submission form, so we get a lot of movies from the submission form. So yeah.
Okay. For a moment there, I thought you had this glamorous life where you'd go from Venice to Cannes to the US.
No, Venice. I never been in Venice, even when my movie was over there, because it's so expensive. Venice is the most expensive festival in the world. I was only one in Cannes when they invited me to be a jury 3 years ago, I think.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I didn't, you know, if they will not invite me, I will not go, because it's expensive and it's very tight, close to the festival in Tel Aviv. So it's very problematic for me to go away. But, you know, you don't say no when you get invitation to
Absolutely,
Cannes,
especially to Venice.
To be during such an important film festival. Yeah. And Berlinale, it's the festival I'm going every year, every February in the last 13 years.
Wow. And
I started to go over there. It was the 3rd year of the festival, and I got an invitation to be a jury too.
Nice.
So it was a nice beginning. In 2008 to be a jury, in 2009 to have a movie in the official festival, you know, in the official program.
So how many other LGBT film festivals are there around the world?
There is around 200.
Seriously, that many? That's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of them. And every year there is more and more.
Okay. And so how do you feel, where does Tel Aviv fit into that? How large, how does it compare to the others around the world?
It's compared very good because, you know, we've been selected few times as one of the best in the world.
Fantastic.
LGBT Film Festival are one of the 10 best. And even there is international, I forgot the word, you know, list that, you know, general film festival, not only LGBT, and we've been in this list too. So there is a lot of appreciation to what we are doing in Tel Aviv for the festival. So it's really nice that, you know, professional people appreciate our programming and what we are doing. And I think our festival, it's very edgy and artistic. And, you know, we have few, you know, crowd pleasers, but I think the good queer cinema, it's need to look after new boundaries and to deal with subjects that are sometimes not easy to the eye. And we are queer people, and this is a queer film festival. So I think this is what should, you know, a lot of LGBT film festival, I found them very trying to please the audience. And I discovered that the Tel Aviv audience sometimes prefer movies that are not so nice. And I like it. Sometimes I write and the movie is successful, sometimes not. But I can give you the example with we showed in December a movie from Slovenia about young juveniles. And I said, okay, the young juveniles, violent, crime, you know, a country like Slovenia, who will come to watch it? And we needed to open another venue, and it wasn't the monthly event. It was sold out in cinema number 1, 340 seats, and we need to open another venue, the small cinema, but we almost had another 50 people over there.
So you never know quite how popular something's going to be.
You know, you never know. You know, the audience in Tel Aviv, I think it's quite an open-minded, so I could be edgy and political and social, and they will come to watch movies. And I think a lot of film festivals, especially in US, they prefer comedies and light drama, you know, and stuff like this. I found the same in UK when I was a jury in film festival over there. The audience more into light stuff.
They're looking to be
Even the jurors, I was jury with few gay British people, and we had a very strong fight about. I wanted that a movie about a young black man discovering that the guy that is in love with have HIV and he want to get infected. And the other Jews was upset that I want this movie because why we need these sad stories? We are over it. We don't need these stories anymore. And in the end, it was a typical coming out movie from Australia. It was really well done, but you know, nothing.
Nothing pioneering, yeah.
Yeah, so, and I think if you've been in the gay shorts in Israel, the gay or lesbian, the international program, you see a lot of movies from different countries that are dealing with subjects that usually you don't see in typical gay short program, you know, in US. I think if when a person buying a ticket, they want to see something interesting that will stay with him and not forget when he will leave the cinema.
Yeah, those are the best
and
movies.
This is what I believe in, you know?
So one thing I wanted to ask you, so again, in a normal year, Tel Aviv would probably be visited by about, I don't know, tens of thousands of overseas visitors, or, you know, this month for Pride and for the film festival and so on. Do you know whether or what proportion of the people that come to the movie, how many are locals? You know, do the visitors get involved, or are they just here to party and to march in the parade?
It's interesting. Of course, most of the people, the tourists that coming to Tel Aviv, they're not coming to the film festival, but it's every year surprising me how many of them coming to the festival and even contact us before and buying tickets or ask us to save them tickets and they will buy in the box office and stuff like this. So there is a lot of them that they are, they're interested in culture, but it's not, it's nice that they're coming to the festival and there is curiosity. A lot of them discovering it during their visit and they coming, they hear there is a famous drag queen or famous actor like Ellen coming or, someone like this coming over and they coming to see the Q&A or the movie with them or, the party with them. So it's really, really nice. And there is people that buying tickets to the movies, but it's not the majority. The majority, it's local Israelis. And a lot of our audience, surprisingly, are not into the Pride.
It's a different market.
The locals, when we started to show movies during the Pride Friday, noon and afternoon, when the Pride it's running, people told me, no one will come. And I said, let's try, I even don't go to the Pride, I don't like the Pride. It's too hot. It's a lot of shouting, a lot of people shouting around you. There's the small cars with the beer commercials or the, all the energy stuff almost running over you, I don't like the Pride. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
I don't like the Pride in Israel. I prefer, I've been in San Francisco in the Pride. It's so organized and nice. I was in Amsterdam. My favorite is in Amsterdam.
Because it's all on the canals, right?
Yeah, the canals. It's so nice. And everyone's so nice. No one pushing, Everybody's standing and looking and no one push you. Even Berlin, it's like in Tel Aviv.
Okay.
But you can walk and no one will push you or shout you in the ear or it's. And in Israel, it's Israeli. It's just, it's not my taste.
Fair enough. I think one of the biggest improvements over the last couple of years was changing the starting point. So I think for the last maybe 2 years, instead of starting in Gan Meir at the LGBT Center, they've started on Ben Zion Boulevard. And it's wonderful because it's on a slight hill and you can see all the way down almost to the beach. Literally hundreds and hundreds of, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people all crammed into the street. And it does look amazing. But again, you've got to be a certain kind of person to enjoy that kind of crowd.
And there is a lot of me. This is what I discovered. And they prefer to sit in the cinema, in the cold air conditioning and watch a movie. And there is hundreds of them. So the movies are quite packed. During the Pride. So I'm not the only one, and I'm happy that I'm not the only one. So now we in the last 3 years we shot movies during the Pride, and it was really nice to. It's another, we have a Pride in the Cinematheque instead of in the hot weather in the streets. But this year the weather was amazing. So the Pride lost it, So it's a really, really good day.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Let's hope this time next year everything will be back to normal. We'll have a vaccine. Everyone will be able to crowd together. Let's hope. One thing that I've always loved about TLVFest is the fact that you always publish a brochure, and that it's always in both Hebrew and English. So, and the fact that you broadcast or that you show the movies, if they're in Hebrew, there's always English subtitles, or if they're in a foreign language, there's Hebrew and English subtitles. So the movies can be enjoyed by a much wider audience, which I think is great. Again, my Ivrit's not wonderful.
I think it's important. First of all, there is so many international people living in Tel Aviv, that are, working for embassies or consulate, and and a lot of business people, you know, like high tech, artists, so many people of them living in Israel, and mostly in Tel Aviv. A lot of them are gay and they're coming to the festival. And I want them to enjoy as well. We have tourists, we have international guests. So I think it's important, you know. And for Olim, of course. And I told you, a lot of our volunteers are Olim. And what I think make it unique, and what I from talking with them, they volunteer in a culture event and film festival in their own countries before they came to Israel. So for them, it was obvious to come over to volunteer in TLVFest. So of course, I want them to enjoy the movies if they are not speaking, if the movies are not speaking English. And regarding the Hebrew, the Israeli movies, you know, we have the Israeli short movie competition. So the juries are international.
Of course, yeah.
I will not give to Israelis to be juries in the Israeli short competition, because every person here know each other. So it's like 6 degrees of separation, but you know, but in Tel Aviv, you know, it's only 2 or 1. So
fair enough. It becomes a popularity contest. Yeah.
So yeah, so the juries are international. So of course they must have English subtitles. And I think a lot of it's for Olim and for international people, it's interesting to see Israeli cinema, LGBT cinema. And a lot of them are buying tickets to see these movies. So of course it's important for them for me, that they will understand what they are watching. What more? I want to say something about it, but I remembered a few minutes ago and I forgot. What?
Actually, one of my first experiences, I used to, when before I made Aliyah, I lived in Sydney. And so there's a queer film festival over there called Queer Screen. And if I remember correctly, I saw your movie Antarctica there. We had to go back a second day because they didn't have the English subtitles. And so the thing about Antarctica, there's a good couple of minutes at the start of the movie before people start talking. And so you think that it's just, you know, background noise or what they're saying isn't important. And then the conversation starts and it's like, they've forgotten to put the subtitles on. So we all had to come back the second day and watch it again.
First of all, I'm sorry about the experience. I wasn't the distributor of the movie or the agent.
No, it wasn't your fault.
The producer was in charge of it.
They also showed an Israeli comedy, I think it was called Johnny, from maybe the 90s.
It was sitcom. It was a sitcom.
Yes, that's right. It was a sitcom.
Oh my God.
So they showed a couple of episodes of that. And that was also when I first saw the Israeli TV show Florentine, which was at the end of the 90s.
It's a classic, yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice to see, you know, Israeli films and I guess TV shows as well being shown in other film festivals around the world. It really is a truly international thing. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm trying to think what other questions I had. Oh, I wanted to ask you. So how many people are involved in TLVFest? Obviously, you're the founder. What is your title within TLVFest these days?
Right now, it's a founder and artistic director, but I do everything. There is another person that's working with me that is the traffic and technical manager. His name is Oad, and he's in charge, you know, when we have a monthly event or during the festival or before the festival, in charge of the movies will be in the cinema with the English subtitles and the Hebrew subtitles, and everything is working. This is his job.
Wonderful.
And he's working with me for, I think, 5 years or 6 years now. So.
Okay, so you put the whole festival together every year? What? You put the whole festival together every year?
Yeah, and all the time before the festival, I'm hiring few people to work with me. You know, in the last 2 years, I didn't do all the job. It was another guy that I took to do it because I was too tired and I wanted to stop. But yeah, I'm back to do it now.
Excellent. Good stuff. Well, I hope everything goes well with November. That's the other thing we haven't mentioned. I mean, there's the Pride Film Festival, which is normally again every June around the Pride March. But you also do a monthly movie most months, anyway. Yes.
Yes, every month we have events, or sometimes even more. A few screenings. And this July, the 1st of July, we are going to have a TLVFest Pride Day with 4 Israeli premieres, 2 movies that will be in the festival in November.
Okay.
So you can watch them before. And it's really, really amazing movies. 3 of them premiered in Venice Film Festival, and one of them even won the Queer Lion. And another movie from Toronto International Film Festival. It's a French movie, and we are going to have one American, but the director is a transgender woman, originally from the Philippines. It's about a trans woman that she is an illegal worker in US. Taking care about all the Jewish Russian women.
Okay.
It's really, really good movie. It's one of my favorite this year. And there is 2 from Chile. Chile, it's really becoming the capital of the most interesting queer movies. One is The Prince. It's a gay homoerotic jail movie that taken place in the 70s. I call it, it's a gay plotation. It's very, very sexy and very edgy. A lot of beautiful boys naked in the shower and other stuff. And it's won the Venice the Queer Lion in Venice. And there is another one from amazing filmmaker called Pablo Larraín. It's called Emma. And Pablo Larraín directed Jackie, about Jackie Onassis, Kennedy Onassis, with Natalie Portman.
Okay, wow.
So he's the filmmaker of Jackie and No, that was nominated to the Oscar for Best Foreign Movie. And it's amazing movie about a dancer that exploring her sexuality. It's very bisexual movie. It's the most easy to describe it as Almodovar on strong drugs, LCD or something. It's like the most crazy plot ever, and it's
It's not crazy enough as it is.
No, it's not. It's not. It becomes so now. It become calm, and Pablo did Almodovar like when he was young, and it's full of passion and dance and a lot of crazy shots. So beautiful.
So that's all on the 1st of July. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the information about that's on TLVFest.com, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And we are going to have another 2 movies in the end of July, and then another 2 movies in August, maybe even more. We will see. I'm trying to put a lot of movies and trying to bring back people to the cinema, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting time, people. So you were mentioning me before we started that they're going to limit the number of people inside cinemas for the...
Yeah, we can sell only 250 tickets. So in a venue of 350, 350, we're losing a lot of money. But for me to show the movie, on computer, in VOD, it's not the same experience, especially such, visually movies like Emma or The Prince. To watch them on computer or in TV at home, it's not the same.
It's true. Some movies just deserve a big screen and a good sound system.
Yeah.
That's a shame. So so the July the 1st, are cinemas open at the moment, or are you waiting for them to be allowed to be reopened? I haven't been paying attention.
They're already allowed to open, but the
Okay.
Cinematheque, of course, wasn't organized for that.
Okay.
Surprise. So they are waiting to Tuesday to see if they will open the tickets. There is another Corona committee meeting to see if they're closing the venues or not. I'm tired. I just want that everything will
be
get
lovely if it all just went away.
normal.
Yeah. We're just at the start of what looks to be a second wave here. I think we've had 5 days of 250 new cases a day. So yeah, we're waiting to see if the government is going to do anything to lock things down again, or whether things just carry on as they are.
People are not careful. I went to one party and I decided not to go anymore because people came over to me. They want to hug me and hold me and kiss me, and no. And then they look at me and, wow, you crazy? You scared? Of course I'm scared. I don't want to get sick, And it's happened to me every demonstration I'm going to almost all the demonstrations against, our corrupted government and prime minister. And people are, why you don't check our hands? Why you don't hug us? And, I don't do it, I'm very happy to see you. I understand you need it. I need it too, but let's keep...
At the moment, we need to keep our distance, yeah. Fantastic, yeah. I'm trying to think what other questions I had. Are there any other questions from anyone in the room?
There is more people?
Who have we got here?
There are 2 of us.
Excellent. Do either of you have questions? Or my video just froze?
Hey, I just had a question. Hi, Yair.
Do you have a question?
Yes, I was just going to ask you, what's the next big thing that you're really excited for Tel Aviv and the LGBT film? Do you see any potential collaborations with Tarantino or something fun like that?
Tarantino in LGBT Film Festival, again. I think if he will come to TLVFest, it will be the first that he will come to an LGBT Film Festival. I'm not in touch with Tarantino, I know the Cinematheque in Tel Aviv was trying to bring him to do a screening, but it didn't work out. He's mostly into Jerusalem Cinematheque. He have a personal connections over there. But right now I can't plan to bring a lot of guests or any guests. We already booked few important people, but we needed to cancel it because, we don't know if we can fly them even in November.
But Tarantino's in Israel, right?
He is.
If he's in Israel and he will jump to the Cinematheque, I don't even know how to be in touch with him. And what I will invite him to see the homoerotic prison movie from Chile. I guess he will love it.
There we go.
Maybe, I don't know. I appreciate his work. His work is so straight. So I even don't know how we will deal with our cinema, what we are showing, but who knows,
Has he expressed any desire in making films here? Because he might be here for the next. His wife is, I think, giving birth, right? If I'm not mistaken, and Corona and everything.
I even don't know if he. Do you know that he's in Tel Aviv?
There were photos of him on Facebook a few days ago of him sitting in a cafe somewhere. That's all I know.
You sure it's a new one or old one?
Oh, that's a good question. It may have been old, but I thought it was current.
Because maybe it came with a private plane. Who knows?
Maybe done.
I will not. I really. I guess but I love to travel a lot. I was just in November, from the end of October till the end of November in Mexico, traveling alone. And last September I was in Spain and Portugal traveling, and I love to travel, but I don't see myself going on any airplane right now. I'm really, really scared. It's really scary to go to another country, and what will happen if I will get infected over there? So yeah, I'm truly scared to fly right now. In fact, I was supposed to go next weekend to Greece to visit friends, and I'm not doing it, of course. But yeah,
it's a shame, isn't it? One thing I wanted to ask, actually, I remember in recent years you've put on movies in Haifa and Jerusalem as well around Pride time. Is that something that you want to do on a regular basis, or?
Oh, we're doing it every year during the festival, and we will do it this year in November.
Fantastic. Okay, so just Jerusalem and Haifa, yeah?
It's all over the country, not only in Jerusalem and Haifa. You can see movies in Herzliya, Hulon, Rosh Pina, Sderot, and other venues. We showed movies in Kibbutz Mizra, Kiryat Tivon, and Nes Ziona, Natanya, and every place that interested to show queer movies from TLVFest, we are there. We never say no.
Wonderful.
We are very easygoing.
Things have come a long way since the days when Cinematheque used to turn you down.
If there is Olim living in a kibbutz somewhere or in a small city and they want us, last year we showed in Pardes Chana 4 movies. So if there is a Olim in any other place and they need to contact the cultural organization or from the municipality and tell them, bring a movie from TLVFest and give my email or phone and contact me, and we will be there.
Fantastic. So we will just find you on Facebook, yeah? Yair Hochner.
Yeah, Facebook, or go into the website and get my email. Or
wonderful. Excellent. Okay. Are there any other questions from the room? No? Okay, good stuff. All right, lovely. Thank you very much for your time, Yair. It's been lovely chatting to you. I wish you all the best of luck with wish you all the best of luck with Pride Day in July and with the monthly movies coming up.
Yeah,
I hope November goes well as well. Hey?
Come July 1st. Select one of the movies or all 4 of them.
Excellent. Okay. And yeah, I'm going to do that. TLVFest.com. All right. Okay. So lovely. Thank you very much, Yair. Next week, we're going to be talking to Geya Steinberg from Choshen. So she'll be telling us about what Choshen does within the LGBT community. All right. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for everyone who joined us. And
thank you.
We'll say good night.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Laila Tov.
Laila Tov.